And we have audio. Check, check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Macarena. Anyway. Hello, everybody. It's Cam here. No. What is up, everybody? It's Cam here with the 2-button brass, and I am back at it with another excerpt challenge for the 2-button brass. So, as the previous winner, I had the privilege of choosing an excerpt to torture my colleagues with, and this week I've chosen a very famous tuba excerpt from a piece called Hungarian March by Hector Berlioz, composed in 1846. This piece is part of a larger work by Berlioz called the Damnation of Faust. Is that a swear? I'm not sure. That may or may not fly. Anyway, this piece, and Berlioz's writing for low brass, is very unique for the tuba. Because it was so early in the tuba's life cycle, Berlioz wrote some of the first tuba parts ever incorporated into the larger orchestra. They were actually performed on instruments called the alphaclyde and the serpent. And you can see they look incredibly different. But a lot of Berlioz's tuba parts are extremely high and very technical. Without further ado, let me show you just exactly how this piece sounds. All right, so I'm really looking forward to how the other guys interpret this. We're going to start off with our trumpet player for this week, Chris O'Brien. Here we go.
Just fortissimo
Mm-hmm.
the whole time.
Classic.
And there's a couple of staccatos. It kind of just goes in and keeps rising and rising. So I'm going to try to pace it out a little bit. And yeah, see how it goes.
The expert analysis. Honestly, that's right on the money. This is one of those low brass excerpts that really relies on the power of the low brass. So it's just kind of honking the whole time. All right, here's the run. Not bad, not bad. The high stuff actually was super clean, it was super easy, but the low stuff, the power and the presence of the notes aren't quite there. He's having to really like push down through the horn. Bum, 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 bum. It was clean, but that's one of those, it just needs to pop. You know, those octave jumps are absolutely huge. You have to have a real sense of standing on those notes.
I'm going to check my tempo really
Always
quick.
good to double check.
Dum, bum, 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 bum,
That
bum,
moderato
bum,
tempo is...
Yeah, it's like a slow march.
Slow march. It has a little bit of restraint to it. It's not about how fast you can play. It's about the power and the presence, how you can fill the room.
Cool. Yeah, that
Pretty
feels
cool.
pretty good. I'm just gonna be cognizant of breaths, thinking of where I'm gonna breathe. I think I like doing that last section pretty continuously.
Very good.
Maybe adding some shape
Always good.
to some of these eighth note runs.
Very good.
Yeah.
Not bad. I think he was speeding up just a little bit there. I think that's his trumpet player instinct starting to take over.
Decide how long I want to do those. I feel like I hear tuba players play this pretty long
Yep.
versus like short. That's not really possible on tuba, I feel like. But the staccato eighth notes could be shorter, a little more compact.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt his point there. Yes, so the length of notes is huge on this excerpt. A lot of people do play this too short. That's one of the biggest mistakes they make in the audition.
And then just go really long on the rest, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, that's about
I'm not
it.
a low brass player, so I don't really know. Could do it 8 VA.
Don't cheat. Don't do 8 VA. You got this. Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. Unacceptable. Inexcusable.
Oh my god.
This doesn't feel good, though. I'm going to do it down the octave, which is still an octave higher than the tuba would be playing it. Since it is kind of an offbeat excerpt, too, I want to try to show where the downbeat is. And that's time.
Overall, very good. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in an audition where that last high note just does not come out. So it's actually pretty funny that even across the trumpet, that it's still the same problem. It just does not quite want to happen. Very good. I really liked the contour. I really like the shape of the eighth notes. That's something a lot of people overlook and play it a little bit more a little too plainly. But it really needs to have this connected energy. Dom, 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 ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. And I think because he was digging so low into the horn, it was just a little shaky. Ba, dum, dum, bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. And he kind of lit up after we got through that first bar. Okay, so we're going to jump on now to Mr. Daniel Skibb on horn.
Alrighty, Cam. I am ready for your challenge.
All right. Very good, very good. So it sounds like he's doing some slurred practice, basically just to find where things are slotting and how he has to adjust to hit the partials correctly. But the only thing is that the staccatos don't really work when you do that. So I think he'll probably fix it, but that'd be the first thing I notice, is the long notes sound great, but the shorter notes they're being slurred. So let's see how it goes. Yep, there it is. There it is. Yep. Yep. Very good, very good. So actually similar to Chris, that last high note, it's not that the note is too high to play, but because of the sequence preceding it, it just never wants to sit right. Okay, okay, okay. Also, I just want to say, I don't think I've ever heard this sound like a ballad in my life. He's doing the slow practice, but it's just... I love it. Let's keep going.
Yeah, this is such a nasty range on the horn.
Yeah, it's right there. It's
Some of that stuff out.
despite it being in the low kind of pedal register of the horn, it sounds like the absolute lowest parts, he's getting a nice sound and resonance out of this. This first bar can actually be very long. A lot of people approach this with kind of a stand-up bass pizzicato feel, bum 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 bum, whereas really this can be legato with just distinct articulation, dum dum da dum.
Dramatic, worried, frantic kind of
I
sound.
like that.
That's what we're going for.
Like dramatic. I don't know if I increase. Well, no, it does have some frantic energy. I would agree.
That's your bread and butter, isn't it?
Yep.
Sign me up.
You know what? I said it was a timpani part. It is absolutely a polka part. I rescind my previous statements.
Where do you breathe? Oh my God.
And I change my mind on that breath mark all the time.
Well, here we go. This is The Hungarian March, a la Daniel Skiv, via French horn.
Via French horn. Love it. I enjoy it already. There it is. Clean. Oh, okay. High notes are really good there at the end. The only thing I'm going to really harp on is length, that all that can be extremely connected. It's more about the definition and distinction of the articulation, having it be very clear. So really good, very good. I'm going to pick on you for that first bar, because it was low on the trumpet as well. For tuba, that's a F tuba especially, that low F is our bread and butter note. That's an easy note. I forget that sometimes because everyone is like, it's at the absolute bottom of my register. So we're going to move on to our final contestant of the day, Mr. Alex Melzer on the trombone. I will see you there.
So, up for this week's excerpt challenge is Hungarian March, which I was glad to see, especially after the Fountains of Rome massacre a few weeks ago. I was really glad to see this. I'm a little bit more familiar with this excerpt. It's not exactly the same as the trombone excerpt from Hungarian March, but it's very similar.
Absolutely. So before he gets into that, let me just expand on that. So a lot of times in orchestral playing, and we take these excerpts, these passages, it's the low brass section, which consists of tuba and trombone. While similar, the parts are not exactly the same, but that can also be a disadvantage because he has spent a lot of time learning the trombone version. Where were we starting? Looks like bar 4. Okay.
This is a good review. I haven't worked on this one recently, so...
Sometimes you sleep on this one. It's a fun one. Ooh, clean octave. Great. Love the centering on that. And then that low pedal E for him. Really good. I'm liking his length a lot. I know I've been harping on that all day. The connectivity of those high notes is so incredibly important, and frankly, in my opinion, it makes it easier, because rather than taking the air out and taking your face off the horn, bum, 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 when you keep it going, bum, 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 suddenly it has momentum. You're able to use the notes you've already played to help you play the notes you're about to encounter.
Yeah, let's do a...
Okay, yeah, no, he's feeling ready. He didn't even need the full 5 minutes. Huge respect to that. Ooh, nice. Great take, absolutely. Couple things on, just like minor things I can pick on. Really, that's phenomenal. It's still just that first bar. I don't think between anyone that we actually really got those lengths, because it's not a chorale. These ascending quarter notes. It's an F major arpeggio. Bum 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 bum. They can be connected because the next notes are staccato. Honestly, that is really the only thing I could pick on. He really nailed that ending. Jumping from the high D sharp all the way down to that pedal E, especially on bone. That is the pedal low E for him. In just a moment, I will announce the winner of this 4th excerpt challenge. So I will see you there. All right, I'm back to judge the results. I had to leave the other room. My dog demanded some attention, and I am absolutely covered in Labrador hair now, but that is beside the point. So yeah, I thought everyone did a great job. The high stuff was incredibly clean by Chris. I liked the reel to the room that Daniel was playing, and Alex just had an amazing style on this. As is always the case, I can only pick one of you for the illustrious prize of the bragging rights. So without further ado, could I get a drum roll, please? And the winner is Mr. Alex Melzer. All right, let's go. Give him a round of applause. Well done, Alex. Yeah, the style you had was just so perfect on the point. You're familiar with the excerpt, so you're able to just kind of adjust it for the tuba. Your centering on the low stuff was great, especially at the end. That 5-1 oompa timpani figure was really nice. Length overall was very good, and I am looking forward to what you give me in terms of trombone excerpts. That is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please feel free to leave a like right below. Drop a comment as well. And don't forget to subscribe down below. We'll catch you next time. See ya!